The small, picturesque village of Ashwood was known for its cobblestone streets, cozy cottages, and the occasional art exhibition that drew visitors from nearby towns. But one chilly October morning, the village was buzzing with news of a tragedy. Renowned artist Julian Hartley had been found dead in his studio, slumped over his unfinished masterpiece. The police called it a heart attack, but not everyone was convinced. Detective Clara Hayes, a sharp and observant woman in her late 30s, had been visiting her aunt in Ashwood when the news broke. Clara had a knack for solving mysteries, and something about Julian's death didn't sit right with her. She decided to look into the matter, even though the local authorities insisted it was an open and shut case. Julian Hartley was a celebrated painter, known for his vivid landscapes and haunting portraits. His latest work, titled The Last Brushstroke, was rumored to be his most ambitious project yet. But the painting was incomplete, and the final brushstroke was never made. Clara couldn't shake the feeling that the key to Julian's death lay in that unfinished canvas. She began her investigation by visiting Julian's studio, a quaint cottage on the edge of the village. The room was cluttered with paintbrushes, canvases, and half-finished sketches. The unfinished painting stood on an easel, its colors bold and striking. Clara noticed something odd, a faint smudge of red paint on the floor near Julian's chair. It didn't seem to belong to the painting. Next, Clara spoke to Julian's housekeeper, Mrs. Pritchard, a stout woman with a no-nonsense attitude. Mr. Hartley was a private man, she said. But lately, he seemed troubled. He'd been working day and night on that painting, barely eating or sleeping. Did he have any visitors recently? Clara asked. Mrs. Pritchard hesitated. Well, there was Mr. Grayson, his art dealer. He came by a few days ago. They argued about something, but I couldn't hear what. Clara's interest piqued. She tracked down Victor Grayson, a slick and polished man in his 50s, at a local cafe. When questioned, Grayson grew defensive. Julian was a brilliant artist, but he was also stubborn. He refused to sell the last brushstroke until it was perfect. I was just trying to help him. Help him or pressure him? Clara countered. Grayson's face reddened. I had nothing to do with his death. Clara wasn't convinced. She returned to the studio and examined the painting more closely. This time, she noticed something she had missed before, a tiny, almost imperceptible signature in the corner of the canvas. It wasn't Julian's. Her investigation led her to a young artist named Eliza Moore, who had been Julian's protégée. Eliza was talented, but struggled to make a name for herself. When Clara confronted her, Eliza broke down in tears. I didn't mean for any of this to happen, she sobbed. Eliza confessed that she had been secretly helping Julian with the last brushstroke. Julian's hands had grown unsteady, and he feared his masterpiece would never be completed. Eliza had added the final touches, including the signature, to ensure the painting would be perfect. But when Grayson discovered the truth, he threatened to expose Julian as a fraud. Julian couldn't bear the thought of his reputation being ruined, Eliza said. He took his own life. Clara's heart sank. She had uncovered the truth, but it was far from the satisfying resolution she had hoped for. Julian's death was a tragic end to a brilliant career, fueled by pride and fear. As for the last brushstroke, it was never completed. Clara arranged for it to be displayed in the village gallery, a testament to Julian's talent and the secrets that had cost him his life. And so, the mystery of the last brushstroke was solved, but the shadows it cast lingered in the quiet village of Ashwood, a reminder that even the most beautiful creations can hide the darkest truths.